Welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2025 season, week 18 prediction. Well, this is the last week on NFL 2025 regular season, and the next week we'll start the playoff with the wild card run. So, for that reason, I'm recording this video when I'm going to talk about, the games of the week and my prediction. Let's start. Well, how you know? Because this is the last week of the season. For that reason, there were Thursday night game, neither the Monday night football, and for that reason, the games in the last week will be played Saturday and Sunday. Where tomorrow it will be played two games. Where in these two games, there is a game the team that will qualify to the playoff and the team that will clinch the number one seed in the NFC. Because remember, there is only two spots available in the playoff, each in each conference. So let's start in the first game, in the divisional game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will receive the Carolina Panthers. This game is gonna to be played tomorrow on Tampa Bay, Florida, and 16:30 start time. Remember the last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost against the Dolphins by 3-point difference, but because the Panthers wasted the opportunity to qualify to the playoff, they lost against the Seattle Seahawks at home, and they wasted a big opportunity to win the division. In this moment, the Panthers are leading this division with a record, and the Bucs are in the second place with a 7-8 record and a 4 losing streak. About this game, the winner of this game is gonna to qualify to the playoff, but there is an if the Bucs win this game, but the Falcons defeat the Saints the Sunday, the Bucs are going to be eliminated. So I think that the both teams are very bad teams, but some teams, so one of these two teams is going to win the NFC South and is going to qualify to the playoff. I remember that these two teams played 2 weeks ago, where the Panthers did surprise and defeated the Bucs 23-20. For that reason, the Panthers had a little advantage. But to be honest, both teams are very bad. I think they're gonna to bet in favor of Bucs because they have the experience, and both teams are very bad. I think that the Bucs are gonna to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference. But I think they are not gonna to qualify because the Falcons will win his game, and the Panthers are going to be eliminated. Even that they did a better, they are doing a better season in comparison of the last season. And in the second and tomorrow's second game, in the best game of the week, I think so, and a divisional game. I'll remember that all the games in the last week are divisional games, where the San Francisco 49ers are going to receive the Seattle Seahawks. This game is going to be played in the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, and 20 o'clock start time. Remember that the last week, the 49ers defeated the Bears in a tremendous game, one of the best games of the season, in a tremendous game where they won that game by 4 difference, 42-38. And the Seattle Seahawks defeated the Panthers 27-10. In this moment, the Seattle Seahawks are leading the NFC West, and they are the number one set in the NFC with the best record in the conference, 13-3, and the Panthers are in the fifth set with a 12-4 record. The winner of this game is going to win the NFC West, and is gonna to get the number one set in the NFC. So all the season is gonna to pass for the team's home stadium. So remember, in case of the 49ers win this game, if they win all the games, they will play all the playoff, including the Super Bowl, in its home. So this is ideal. So this is a very important game, and I think this is is the best game of the week. If we compare about the game is going to be playing the Sunday Night Football between my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't understand why they didn't put this game in the Sunday Night Football. So this is a most victory. To be honest, it's going to be an amazing game. Remember that in the week 2, in the week 1, the 49ers did surprise and upset the Seahawks 17-13. So this is going to be a tremendous game, to be honest. I see a little better the Seahawks than the 49ers. I'm not going to lie. But I think that the 49ers have the enough experience because this team, this kind of teams, and the head coach have played two Super Bowls. Of course, they lost both Super Bowls against the Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City. Then they have played two Super Bowls in the last 6 years. So they have the enough experience. I know that most of his players are injured, but I trust in Kylie Shanahan. He's a tremendous head coach. So I think it's going to be a very physical and foul and close game. But I think that the 49ers they are going to win this game because they will play home and they want to make history and to play all the playoff in this home. So I think that this game is going to be defined by 1 or 3 point difference. The most probably this game is going to be defined in the last play of the game, if not in overtime. And the 49ers are going to win the NFC West title and the number 1 set in the NFC, and the Seahawks will get the 5th set in the NFC, and the rest of the game will be played on Sunday, where it will be played 6-7 games until 10 o'clock Eastern time. In the first game, the Houston Texans are going to receive the Indianapolis Colts. This game is going to be played in the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The last week, the Texans traveled to coast, or not to coast, they traveled to the West Coast, where they defeated the Los Angeles Chargers, and for that reason, for that victory, the Texans clinched a spot to playoff, and the Colts were eliminated thanks to that score, and they lost against the Jaguars 23-17. In this moment, the Texans are qualified to the playoffs. They have an 11-5 record, and they have in the second place in the AFC South. So for the Texans, it's a must victory because they need to win and wait that the Jaguars lost against the Titans to win the AFC South. So it looks a title. It looks very difficult, but not possible. So the Colts. Remember that in the beginning of November, they were the best team because they have a 1 record, but they closed a very bad, and for that reason they were eliminated. So I think that the Texans are going to win this game by 7 or 10 point difference. But because the Jaguars are going to defeat the Titans, the Texans are going to clinch the number 5 set in the AFC. And another game that has nothing in game, the Bengals will receive the Browns in the Cincinnati, Ohio. There's no more to talk about this game. I think that the Bengals are going to win this game by more than 10 point difference. In another game that has in a playoff implication, but no between these two teams, the Atlanta Falcons are going to receive the New England Saints. This game is going to be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Remember that the both teams are eliminated, but what is interesting about this game, if the Falcons win this game and defeat the Saints, thanks to some so for the tiebreak, and the Bucs defeat the Panthers, the Bucs are going to be eliminated because some tiebreak. So this is something very rare, and this is for that reason this game is interesting. So I think that the Falcons are going to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference. I think that the most probably this game is going to be defined in the last play of the game, and thanks to this loss, the Bucs are going to be eliminated. In another game that it has nothing in play, the Minnesota Vikings are going to receive the Green Bay Packers. This game is going to be played in the US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Vikings are eliminated, and the Packers clinch the number 7 set in the NFC. So there is nothing important in this game. So I think that the Vikings are going to take advantage that the Packers have nothing to fight, and the Vikings are going to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference. In another game that it has a playoff implication, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to receive the Tennessee Titans. This game is going to be played in Jacksonville, Florida. The last week, the Jaguars defeated the Colts, and the Titans. Wait a minute. lost against the Saints 34-26. About the Jaguars, in this moment they are leading the AFC South with a 12-4 record, and the Titans are in the bottom and eliminated. This is a must victory for the Jaguars, because with a victory they are going to win the AFC South for first time since the 2022 or 2020. And if the Jaguars win this game and the Broncos and Patriots lost their games, the Jaguars are going to clinch the number one set in the AFC. So it's a very important victory. So in this moment, the Jaguars, wait a minute, have a seven straight victory. So this is going to be an interesting game. I know that the Jaguars are better team than the Titans, and the gap is a lot, because the Jaguars are one of the best team in the league and the Titans are one of the worst team in the league. But I think that the Jaguars, and you remember that in a divisional game the distances reduced, but I think that the Jaguars are better team. The Jaguars are going to win this game by more than 14-point difference, and they're going to win the AFC South title in another game that it has nothing in play. The New York Giants are going to receive the Dallas Cowboys. This game is going to be played in the MetLife Stadium in the Big Apple in New Jersey. In New Jersey, there is nothing important to talk about this game. I think that the Cowboys are going to win this game easily by 7 to 10 point difference. And it will be played 7 games and 16:25 Eastern time. In the first game, the Los Angeles Rams are going to receive the Arizona Cardinals. This game is going to be played in the Inglewood Stadium. It's going to be played in the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The Rams lost against the Falcons in the Monday Night Football, and for that reason the Rams clinched the number one set in playoff. So for that reason there is nothing in play in this game, but Sean McVay, the Rams head coach, said that he's gonna to put the starting players to this game. So I think that they are a better team or that the Cardinals. So I think that the Rams are going to win this game by 10-point difference. In another game that it has nothing in game, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to receive the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is going to be played in the Alligator Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Both teams are eliminated, but the Raiders need to lose this game to get the number one pick in the NFL draft 2026. About the Chiefs, they are eliminated. They are the runner-up of the last season, and they are one of the disappointing teams, the number one disappointing team of the season, because minimum I expected that they were in playoffs. So there is nothing in play about this game. I think that the Raiders are gonna to win this game, because the Chiefs, because they're going to take advantage to playing home, and thanks that the Giants are going to lose against the Cowboys, the Raiders are going to get the number one pick in the next NFL draft. In another game, the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning champion team, is going to receive the Washington Commanders. This game is going to be played in the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For the Eagles, it's a must victory, because they need to win and wait that the Bears lost against the Lions to get the number one set in the NFC. Remember, the Eagles won the NFC East title by in a back-to-back year. And this is historic, because this is the first time that a team in the NFC East win a back-to-back title in that division. So the Commanders are eliminated. So remember that the 2 weeks ago the Eagles defeated the Commanders. So I think that this is gonna to happen the same. The Eagles are going to win this game by more than 10-point difference, but because the Bears are going to defeat the Lions, the Eagles are going to get the number 3 set in the NFC. In another game, the New England Patriots are going to receive the Miami Dolphins. This game is going to be played in the Gillette Stadium. This game is going to be played in the Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Patriots, the last week, won the AFC East title, thanks that they defeated because the Patriots defeated the Jets, and the Bills lost against the Eagles. So now the Patriots need to win and wait that the Broncos lost against the Chargers to win to get the number one set in the AFC, and the Dolphins are eliminated. So I think that the Patriots are a better team than the Dolphins. The Patriots are one of the best team in the league. So I think that the Patriots won't have any problem and they will win this game by more than 10 point difference. But they won't get the number one set in the conference because the Broncos will defeat the Chargers. In another game, the Chicago Bears are going to receive the Detroit Lions. This game is going to be played in the Soldier Field Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. The Bears clinched won the NFC North title thanks that the Packers lost against the Ravens the last week, even that the Bears lost against the 49ers. But because the Bears lost against the 49ers, they can get the number one set in the NFC. So for the Bears, it's a must victory to clinch the number one set in the NFC. About the Lions, they were eliminated because they lost against the Vikings the last week. I think that the Lions, alongside the Kansas City Chiefs, are the two disappointment teams in the season because I expected minimum that both teams were gonna were in playoff in this season. Also remember that the last season the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions were the number one set in each conference. So unbelievable. So also for the Bears, this is a revenge because remember in the week 2, the Lions humiliated the Bears where the Lions defeated 50-21 in the week 2. And remember that the Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator in Detroit Lions. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think that in this moment the Bears are one of the best teams in the league, and the Bears won't have any problem and they will win this game by more than 14 point difference. And in another game, the Denver Broncos are going to receive the Los Angeles Chargers. This game is going to be played in Denver, Colorado. Remember that the last week, the Broncos clinched or won the AFC West title. Thanks that they defeated the Chiefs and the Chargers lost against the Texans, and the Broncos won its first AFC West title in 10 years, and they could a 9 winning streak, winning the AFC West title by the Kansas City. So about the Chargers has nothing in play because they clinched the number 6 set in the conference, and they will rest the starting quarterback Justin Herbert. So for the Broncos, it's a victory. It's a must victory because with the victory they will clinch the number 1 set in the conference. So because the Justin Herbert is not gonna to play this game, I think the Broncos won't have any problem and they will win this game by more than 10 point difference, and they will get the number 1 set in the AFC. In another game, the Buffalo Bills are going to receive the New York Jets. This game is going to be played in the Buffalo, New York. The Bills clinch a spot to the playoff, but they missed the opportunity to win the AFC East title, where they lost against the Eagles. To be honest, I think that there were several mistakes. I never understood why the Bills decided to play by 2 points when they had the opportunity to score an extra point and to send the game to overtime. To be honest, I didn't understand never that decision. And the Jets eliminated. The Bills need to win his game, and why that the Texans and the Chargers lose their games to escalate to the 5th place. So I think that the Bills won't have any problem. Will defeat the Jets by more than 14 point difference, and the Bills will finish in the number 6 set. And the last game of the day and the last game of the regular season in a tremendous game, my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, are going to receive the Baltimore Ravens. This game is going to be played in the Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and 2020 Eastern Time. The last week, the Steelers wasted an important opportunity to win the division, where they traveled to Cleveland and they unfortunately couldn't defeat the Cleveland Browns. They lost against the Browns 13-6, where the Steelers made several mistakes, to be honest. This is a typical Tomlin game, where usually when the Steelers under the Mike Tomlin's era, they play against an underdog team or an important game. Most of the time, they don't prepare very well the game, and they don't play as the best against this kind of rivals. And for that, and they made several mistakes. For example, in that game, the Steelers missed a field goal. They missed to move the ball in a 4-and-1 in the Cleveland Browns red zone, and they couldn't take advantage of the Browns in one of the Browns turnovers. And the Steelers last drive of the game, it was a very bad performance, and for that reason the Steelers lost that game. And the Ravens defeated the Packers easily, and thanks that the Steelers lost against the Browns, for that reason the Ravens got opportunity. In this moment, the Steelers are leading the AFC North with a 9-7 record, and the Ravens are in the second place with an 8-8 record. Remember that in the week 14, in the beginning of December, the Steelers did a surprise travel to Baltimore and defeated the Ravens 27-22. For that reason, in this moment, the Steelers have the advantage in the division. So, like the 49ers Seahawks game, the winner of this game is gonna to qualify. Is gonna to win the AFC North. Is gonna to qualify to the playoff. To be honest, both teams are very bad. It's the same situation with the Bucs and the Panthers. But to be honest, one team is gonna need to win the division and qualify to the playoff. Both teams are very bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think that it's gonna to be a very physical and tough game, and I think that most probably this game is gonna to be defined in the last minutes of the game. If not in the last play of the game. So it's gonna to be a tough game. But I think that's gonna to bet in favor of the Steelers because I will play in home and because it's my favorite team. So I think that the Steelers are going to win this game by more than 3-point difference, by 3 or more point difference. The Steelers will win the AFC North title and they will qualify to the playoff. Even that with this victory, the most probably that the Mike Tomlin is going to renew his contract and he's gonna to be the Steelers head coach for another 2 or 3 years. This is sad for the Steelers fans, but in the end, I always support the Steelers and I always want that the Steelers win, even that I don't want that the Mike Tomlin to be the Steelers head coach, because to be honest, the Mike Tomlin in this moment is not the best. Is not the best head coach for the team, and he should have been fired in the end of the season, even if the Steelers win the division and qualify to the playoff. But I know that this is not going to happen. But in this moment, the important is that the Steelers win this game, win the division, and qualify to the playoff. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment suggestion, you can write me in any social media platform. So see you next video. Cheers.